there's more help outside there.
As a like when the kids are young, like when they're child, and when they see the another person with the father or mother, stepmother, stepfather, or their girlfriends, don't you think
Mhm.
that impact on them is not really positive? Because when they see their own parents, it's a family, but there's somebody else's attached to their own parents, like mom or dad, their girlfriend or wife or whoever it is. So impact could be not really positive. What do you think about it, and how do you think we can sort this out? How can we make them understand?
When you see child, Aarti, I would say one thing, lah. It is not just a normal aged child like a 3 4 years old. Even a baby or a toddler, because my kids were toddlers, or even you yourself suspect that your father or mother is having an affair at a certain age, or you find out later on, because I have friends who found out that their parents are having an affair from the time that they were teenagers, and only now as adults they find out, oh, you mean the last how many years my father has been having an affair? As adults or young children, regardless, all will face trauma. They will feel very sad. Um, they ask what, of course, the usual blame game. The person who is having the affair will say, "You're not right. Your parents are not right. The other parent, you know." In my ex-husband's case, couldn't say anything. Oh, your mother's not right. Why is she not? She's not right. So even when his parents ask him, he can only say, she's not right. What's wrong with her? Oh, you don't know, but she's not right. The actual reason is it's them. It's them. They themselves have an issue. So they have an issue means they, like normal criminal. If they
Yeah.
do a mistake, they blame the other person. But at the end of the day, when you have children, regardless of whatever age the children, even if you're an adult and you find out that your parents someone is having an affair, your one of your parents having an affair, there will be a psychological effect. There'll be emotions running high. This is where, in fact, an entire family, in my situation, it's not just us. His entire family was affected. My entire family was affected. Our extended families were all affected. So the person who is the victim, who is having the affair, just says it and goes off. They're having a good time. That's what happened over there. But the thing is, it's very difficult to address it. If you have children, you must address it, especially if they're young children. Get them to see someone. There are, like, earlier we discussed family service center. You could also check out if there is someone outside who could actually do counseling. Usually, the family service center is the best way. School counselors are good to inform them, and teachers, if let's say the child is in school
And
already,
there are some
so
volunteers
that,
as well who are helping out
I
at the
think in the school there are proper
counselor.
counselors
Yes, we have the counselor.
who can
Yes,
actually
definitely.
talk to them. So they are certified. Bring them to a proper counselor. Family talking will not help. Family will say, he's bad, she's bad. Always bring them to a proper counselor so that the counselor can actually talk to them. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, they could also bring in the parent who is having an affair and tell them certain advice, not to force that idea upon the child that,
I think, Pamela, the problem is that in our family, in our relation, in our relatives, we are lacking of the counselor. In olden days, we have a grannies and the parents to explain to us
yeah,
that, oh, you
that,
should like
yes,
you
but that
complete your
family would
marriage.
actually bring the couple together back again. You
Yeah, yeah,
see, if
exactly. The
that
couple
back
has
in
to
the
go
day,
together. It's
that
like
back in the day,
it's
even to
like
have
a
an affair, also they would have thought also, if I have an affair, my entire family would come down and sit down and talk to. And the person who is having an affair with them in South India, some villages still do practice a so-called punishment on the person who is having an affair with a married person. So the thing is, they will be afraid. So society should stop people from even having affairs, even thoughts of having affairs. But in society now, we don't want the child to go the wrong way. to feel sad, and then tell the friend, and then the friend will say, okay, la, let's smoke, la. It will give
Like
you
what
less
Mr.
stress.
Janak said last time, we need to have some. I think Akshata also mentioned this last time that we all need to have some rules and some pressure from the society for the relationship, so that
I'd like to add something. I'd like to add something
yes,
to
please.
what Pamela said about this divorce thing. When it comes to blaming tit and tat for who's having an affair and adultery and all that, I think we should all be seriously grow up and stop telling the children these kind of things. I mean, you're washing your dirty laundry in front of your kids. They're not ready for these things, and you're throwing them in the middle and putting them in a battlefield which they don't need to be there. Your job as a parent, your duty, your responsibility is to protect them and not use them as a tool, as a shield, not as a pawn to get one from the other. That is if that being the case, the child should be taken away from you. Seriously, personally, that's my opinion. The child should be
Actually,
taken away
Mr.
because you're of
Janak,
no
so
good.
sorry to add in, my ex-husband, he actually used the children to the point that he also said that somebody raped the children.
My
He
good
even
friend
came up
Pamela.
with such a false case, and it was like, because he wanted the house and he wanted the children by his side for that time only. So there were at least two false cases. My lawyer said, you can fight the case on your own because you have the evidence and the medical records. So you can imagine that how much I had actually gone through when the kids were 4 and 5, that stage where the divorce had not been settled, the house he dragged in, all for his own benefit. So it's like you put the kids through the worst situation for your own benefit, and there are parents who do that in our
I wonder
society.
what could lead
So
the couple to think like that, or to, like, not even considering the children's future, or like they will, like, they imagine a time when they are really excited to get married, and then there's a time when they are really want to walk out from each other, and the hatred is there. So there is something wrong somewhere. We'll need to sort this out. But let me speak to
it
Mr.
is
Jai
starting from
now.
when the marriage is about to be planned, lah, if you
Yes,
ask me.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
I
We'll
would
come back to
say
this.
if you made that decision, I would say if you made that decision to get married, then you should be able to accept the consequences of it. And
Exactly. I
if
agree
you
with
choose
Mr.
that
Jan.
you're not compatible, whichever way, whether by uh, third party or no party, whatever
And
it is.
nobody's perfect. You see, Mr. Janak,
Yeah.
Mr. Janak.
Yes, which is what we came across earlier on, which is marriage is nothing more than a commitment and a promise, not
Yes,
something to
yes.
a few words, then you break it up, and then that's the end of it. That's not it. It's a
Nobody's
commitment
perfect.
for
And
life.
if we have faced some, if we have something negative, if he has turned into some negative, or anything, we accept, teach, and love. That's how it goes. Okay.